A factory worker gets fired during lockdown, no camera, no script, no money. Today, he's followed by 500 million people. This is how one man's silence became the loudest voice on the internet. Khaby didn't set out to become the most followed creator on TikTok. He wasn't born into wealth, he didn't have connections, he didn't even have a steady job. What he had was a phone, a tiny bedroom, and a willingness to keep showing up when nothing seemed to be working. His journey from sleeping in public housing in Italy to dominating social media is a masterclass in turning obstacles into opportunities. This is the story of how limitation became his superpower. Khaby was born in Senegal, West Africa. When he was just a year old, his family made the difficult decision to leave their homeland and move to Italy, searching for better opportunities. They settled in a public housing complex in Chivasso, a small town near Turin. Life was far from easy. Money was always tight. His parents worked hard just to keep food on the table. Khaby has spoken openly about growing up with very little, wearing hand-me-down clothes, and watching other kids have things his family simply couldn't afford. He felt different. He felt like an outsider. But he kept his dreams alive. The public housing where they lived was home to many immigrant families, all struggling to build new lives in a foreign country. Khaby saw his parents sacrifice everything. He watched them work long hours for modest pay. He understood from an early age that life wasn't going to hand him anything. If he wanted something, he would have to fight for it. That mindset shaped everything that came later. As he got older, Khaby dreamed of becoming an actor. He loved movies. He imagined himself on screen, making people laugh, telling stories. He would watch comedies and study how actors delivered their lines, how they used their faces and bodies to communicate emotion. But reality kept getting in the way. He didn't speak fluent Italian, which made auditions difficult. He had no connections in the entertainment industry. He had no money for acting classes or professional equipment. Every door seemed closed, so instead of chasing an impossible dream, he did what he had to do. He got a job at a factory near his home, operating machinery. Day after day, he would stand at his station, doing repetitive tasks, earning just enough to help his family. It wasn't glamorous, it wasn't what he wanted, but it was honest work, and it paid the bills. Still, in the back of his mind, that dream never completely died. He just didn't know how to reach it. Then 2020 happened. The world shut down, lockdowns swept across Italy, factories closed, Khaby lost his job. Suddenly he had no income, no clear future, and a lot of time on his hands. Many people in his position would have panicked, many would have fallen into depression or given up. But Khaby made a different choice. He decided to use that time to create. He started posting videos on TikTok. Not with expensive cameras or professional lighting, just his phone, just his bedroom, just himself. At first, nobody watched. His early videos barely got any views. There was no viral moment, no instant fame. He would post a video, check it an hour later, and see maybe 50 views, then 30, then 20. It was discouraging, but he kept posting anyway, every single day. He tried different things. He experimented with formats, with timing, with content. He kept going even when it felt pointless. Then something clicked. Khaby started making reaction videos to overcomplicated life hack clips, well, you know the ones. Someone cuts a banana with a chainsaw when they could just peel it. Someone builds a complex contraption to open a door when they could just use the handle. Someone uses 5 tools to do something that takes one simple motion. These videos were everywhere, racking up millions of views. Khaby would watch these videos, look directly at the camera with a blank expression, and then show the simple, obvious way to do it. No words, no explanation, just a look that said everything, that shrug. those open hands, that face that communicated a universal thought. Why are you making this so complicated? That silence became his signature. And it wasn't just a creative choice, it was born from his struggles. He wasn't completely comfortable speaking Italian on camera. He didn't have the vocabulary to script elaborate jokes or commentary. He couldn't compete with creators who had polish and production value. So he stripped it down, he removed language entirely, and in doing so, he created something universal. Anyone, anywhere, speaking any language could understand him. A teenager in Brazil got the joke, a grandmother in Japan got the joke, a student in Egypt got the joke. His humor crossed borders, his expressions needed no translation. The videos started taking off. Thousands of views became hundreds of thousands, then millions, then tens of millions. People couldn't get enough of his straightforward approach. In a world of overcomplicated content, Khaby offered simplicity. In a platform full of noise, he offered silence. In an industry obsessed with talking, he proved you could say everything without saying anything at all. Brands noticed. Other creators noticed. The world noticed. Within 2 years of losing his factory job, Khaby became the most followed person on TikTok, surpassing even Charli D'Amelio. Over 500 million people now follow him across platforms. He's worked with major brands, walked red carpets, and collaborated with celebrities he once only watched on screen. That dream of being an actor? It came true, just not the way he expected. But even as his fame grew, one struggle remained. Khaby had lived in Italy for over 20 years. He spoke the language, he ate the food, he lived the culture, he considered it home. But legally he wasn't Italian. Italy's citizenship laws are strict. Being born there doesn't automatically make you a citizen. Living there for decades doesn't either. You have to prove your worth, pass tests, navigate endless bureaucracy. Khaby felt Italian, but his passport said otherwise. He has described the frustration of belonging to a place that didn't fully recognize him, of feeling like you're home, but being told you're still a guest. In 2022, after years of waiting and paperwork, he finally received Italian citizenship. It was emotional, it was overdue, it was validation. Khaby Lame's rise is proof that your circumstances don't define your ceiling. If his story inspires you, hit that subscribe button and share this with someone who needs to hear it today.